Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Azri Abdul Manan from UiTM Shah. I'm here to present my research paper, The Citizen Satisfaction Towards E-Government in Sarikei Town during COVID-19 pandemic. The beginning of year 2020, specifically March 2020, the government and citizens are heavily dependent towards e-government during the COVID-19 pandemic. The government staff have been doing work from home and there is less interaction between government and citizens through face-to-face interaction. With the assistance of e-government, it eased the citizens to use the service and received massive usage since the implementation of Movement Control Order. The use of internet to cope with movement restriction demonstrated an utterly digital Malaysia. It allowed direct and swift services, especially on access of information, payments, and lodgement, which shown that Malaysia had been on positive trajectory of a digital nation. Sarawak's digital transformation under post-COVID-19 development strategy in digitalizing the economy in Sarawak, which also emphasized digitalizing government services. In this regard, it can be a huge advantage to enhance the usage of e-government to be more effective through this study. However, there are numerous challenges and issues that needs to be faced by government and e-government implementers in which can be a huge setback towards success. Here are the definition of terms. E-government can be defined as the usage of multimedia technology and internet to ensure effective and efficient transactions and service delivery between the government and the citizens by UiTM and ININ 2018. Meanwhile, the citizen satisfaction defined as to the extent to which the e-government assists the citizen in achieving their needs. Plus, it can be influenced by the citizen's decision whether to use the service again or not, by Shuib Yadridikodi and ININ 2018 with Sanchai Sriakul and Jermsti Parsat 2020. Next is the statement of the problem. Some citizens shows unwillingness to change due to afraid of being taken over by technology, insufficient change management, and lack of motivation, which they're rather having face-to-face interaction despite many e-government initiatives and options have been introduced by Ramli 2017. The compatibility of e-government application must be convenient at all levels in order to prevent the futures to be complicated to some, especially during the pandemic, which using e-government portals is unpreventable by the start 2020, because there are some of underprivileged citizens can have a hard time to access. Certain people are having trust issues towards the allegation that government is favoring telecommunication companies by NST 2021, which they rather than listen and communicate with the consumers about what they want. They even the claims can be false, but it can leave a negative impressions towards government. According to the survey, half of total respondents believe that government are adequately qualified to handle e-government, and less than half believe that they are capable and have adequate infrastructure and skills to handle large transactions by the start 2020. It shows that huge number of citizens have this belief and less trust towards government. Without citizen trust, it's very hard to gain satisfaction. So here is the research gap. There is research about e-government, but less reflected research conducted in Sarawak about e-government performance. Next is the research questions. RQ1, what is the level of citizen satisfaction towards e-government in Sarikei? RQ2, is there a relationship between the determinants and the levels of citizen satisfaction in Sarikei? RQ3, which of the main determinant impact the citizen satisfaction towards e-government? Next is the research objective. First, RO1, to determine the level of citizen satisfaction towards e-government in Sarikei. RO2, to investigate the relationship between the determinants with the levels of citizen satisfaction in Sarikei. RO3, to identify the main determinant impact the citizen satisfaction towards e-government. So here is the scope of this study. For the level, it focuses on e-government and level of satisfaction among the citizens. The territory in Sarikei Town, Sarawak, Malaysia, and the time frame is during the COVID-19 pandemic, which is from March 2020 until 30 March 2022. So here is the significance of this study. First, it contributes to the knowledge on e-government in Sarikei Town. The policymakers, implementers, and citizens can gain benefits because all of them plays a huge role for success of e-government. Secondly, the significance is it acts as an input in implementing the policy of digitalization in Sarawak towards e-government services. For a town like Sarikei, it is a distinctive place to conduct about digitalization, unlike big cities like Kuching. Third one, to enhance and improve the implementation of e-government services. Moving on towards the literature review. A study to examine the cause of citizen satisfaction in relation to e-government services in Saudi Arabia by Al-Kraiji 2020, which determines is the perceived system quality, perceived usefulness, and the citizen trust. It shows that perceived system quality, perceived usefulness, and trust is the significant predictors in the likes of perceived information quality and ease of use. This finding has the similarity with study conducted with the next author, Shuib, Yadiri and Ainin 2018, which shows that trust towards government is the significant predictors. It is a study about the factors that influence the citizens' adoption of e-government application in Malaysia and the citizen satisfaction. Third author, Mensa 2017, study to investigate the determinants of Korean students in China to use e-government services, which the determinants is perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, service quality, and citizen trust, which shows that all predictors are significantly positive, which is it shows this similarity on one determinants with study conducted by Shuib, Yadiri and Ainin 2018, which is also the citizen trust. Last but not least, Baharun 2017, a study to examine the factors that affects the satisfaction of citizens with e-government portals in Malaysia, with this determinants perceived ease of use, service quality, and content quality. So here is the hypothesis for the study. Here is the theoretical framework for this study, which with the source of technology acceptance model, TAM, it is an information system theory that how users come to accept and use technology, and it was originally defined by Davis in 1989, but it has subsequently been modified and augmented by other researchers. So based on literature and understanding of e-government and citizen satisfaction, the conceptual framework established as shown in the screen, it proposes a relationship between e-government portals and citizen satisfaction during COVID-19 pandemic and have a relationship with determinants such as citizen trust, perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, service quality, and information quality. So here is the methodology. Research design, I'll be using quantitative method, which is survey. Sampling technique, which will be using convenience sampling, population 67,400 citizens, and the sample size will be 382 Sarikei citizens. Data analysis will be using SPSS, and factor analysis determine the factor loading. And the data collection will be using questionnaires through Google Form and by face-to-face through stages. Alright, for the conclusion, by assessing the citizen satisfaction with the utilization of e-government, the study provides more insight towards the research adoption of e-government services. The objective of this study is to determine the level of citizen satisfaction towards e-government in Sarikei according to the factors. Therefore, the findings will be done in the future, which is to meet its objectives. Furthermore, the findings will definitely aid the delivery enhancement and provides more knowledge towards the literature on e-government services. That's all from me. Thank you for listening to my presentation.